fastest and most accurate way to learning English. Let us choose practical English program. Every instruction of PEP is based on listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Also include the method of program. Self-study, syllabus-based, repetition, and audiovisual. With PEP, it is easier for you to learn and to make you more skillful in learning English. The lesson lead to the structure of English language. Whether oral and written, but it can be learned anytime and anywhere. You will be able to speak well in a good conversation, to understand and express yourself in the shape of comprehensive, that they are also a story about much dear that has been a legend. A visual dictionary with interesting illustration. A systematic grammar which consists of 3 stages. Ready to use conversation. All of that is available in PEP program, which you can get
What you should know about the test of English as a foreign language. Toefl. Toefl Plus. Book 2. Multimedia Metropolitan. Diagnostic Test 1. Section 1. Listening Comprehension. Time 40 minutes. Section 1 measures your ability to understand spoken English. There are 3 parts to the listening comprehension section. Each part has its own question types and its own directions. Part A. Directions. In this part of the test, you will hear a short statement which will not be repeated. You must pay careful attention to this statement. In your test booklet, you will see 4 sentences. One of those written sentences means almost the same as the short statement you hear. You must choose the sentence which most closely matches the meaning of the oral statement. You must then mark your answer on the answer sheet.
Tape Script Listening Comprehension Diagnostic Test 1. Part A. 1. My son is not skilled at adding sums, but my daughter is an excellent mathematician. 2. Flight 818 departs on the 18th at 20 or 8 in the evening. 3. I don't remember telling George that he couldn't leave home. 4. The lack of rain caused an increase in food prices. 5. If further efforts to raise money fail, the project will be disbanded. 6. 12 students wanted to skip history class, but only 2/3 were given permission. 7. It is critical that trainees pay close attention to detail in the assignment. 8. The guard, on finding the briefcase, gave it to the principal, who immediately recognized it belonged to the new teacher. 9. More books were on display this year, although major publishers boycotted the fair. 10. Seeing the car crash, I telephoned for help and raced to the scene to find the police were already there. 11. Bill sipped his drink slowly to enjoy the taste. 12. Half of our crowd went to the movies, but only 3 of us could afford the tickets, so 4 went home disappointed. 13. The participants were seated around an oval table. 14. The first payment for $49.14 is due on the 4th of this month. 15. Our professor said he would never change his mind, but we didn't believe him. 16. The schoolboy missed catching the ball, so it hit the window and broke it. 17. My father's brother came to visit last summer. 18. If it rains, we'll cancel the picnic and eat at the restaurant instead. 19. The conductor waved his signal, then ran to the train, climbing aboard at the last minute. 20. The budget for defense is greater than the budget for education, which is less than that for health.
Part B. Directions. In this part, there will be 15 short dialogues between 2 speakers. A third person will ask a question about the dialogue. This question will not be repeated. Listen carefully to the dialogue and the question, and then choose an answer from one of the 4 possible answers given in the test booklet. Mark the corresponding letter on your answer sheet.
Part B. 21.
Is that a new pair of shoes?
Yes. Do you think the color is right?
What did the woman do?
22.
If George doesn't come to dinner, I will have 13.
Let's invite 2 more just in case.
If everyone comes, how many will have dinner?
23.
The block measures 16 by 6 by 60.
Isn't that an odd length?
What is the biggest dimension?
24.
I can't find my pen. I need to write a letter.
I'll look for it later. Right now, I need your help fixing this shelf before I paint it.
What will they do first?
25.
This isn't the worst hotel that I have been in.
It's nothing like what I'd imagined.
What does the women think?
26.
If everyone runs for president, who will run for the other offices?
Of the 6 candidates, only 2 are not running for president.
How many people are running for president?
27.
Be careful of the ice on the bridge.
I'll slow down when I get there.
What is the potential problem?
28.
If I pass this test, I can go to the college of my choice.
If not, you can work for your father.
What happens if the man passes the test?
29.
When I was a child, I thought mice were cute, but now I think they are pests.
I still like them, despite their reputation.
What does the man think of mice now?
30.
Tonight I'm leaving home for a 10-day cruise.
I envy your long holiday. Mine is 4 days long.
Which statement is true?
31.
Is there a dog in the house?
I hope not. How can I stay here if there is?
Why is the man concerned?
32.
The charity appeal raised only half of what it expected.
250,000 is respectable, however.
How much money did they expect to raise?
33.
Are you catching the 11:15 train to Washington?
Yes, I thought I'd get a cab at 11th Street and 5th Avenue in about 15 minutes.
When will the women catch the cab?
34.
I used to collect rare volumes, but now I barely look at them.
That's a pity. I'm always rereading my books.
Which sentence describes the situation?
35.
I won't ever go there again.
I can't promise I won't return, but I'll try not to.
Which is true?
'C' Directions. In Part C, you will hear several short talks on a variety of subjects. Each talk will be followed by several questions. Neither the talks nor the questions will be repeated. You will have to pay close attention to both. After you hear the question, you will have to pick the most appropriate answer from the 4 choices in the test booklet. You will then mark the corresponding letter on your answer sheet.
Part C. Mini Talk 1.
Excuse me, but have you seen my little gray dog as you were walking through the park?
No, I'm sorry, but I'll look before I leave. What's his name?
Her name actually. I call her Cinders because she's the color of soot.
Why isn't she on a leash?
She saw a squirrel and broke away before I could catch her.
36.
What word best describes the dog?
37.
Where does the conversation take place?
38.
Why did the dog run away?
39.
What would the women recommend?
40.
What do Sue and the dog have in common?
Mini Talk 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, we regret to announce that this evening's performance of Shakespeare's Hamlet must be postponed due to the failure of our electrical system. Those people wishing a refund of their money may go to the box office after this announcement. Members of the audience who wish to exchange their tickets for the rescheduled performance next Tuesday evening should appear at the box office tomorrow morning between 8:30 and 10 o'clock.
41.
Why is there no performance?
42.
When will tickets be exchanged?
43.
To whom is this message addressed?
Mini Talk 3.
Deadline New York City. Yesterday afternoon, a special session of the United Nations produced a resolution calling for establishment of a select committee to study the problem of earthquakes in Japan, California, and around the globe. The committee would be charged with compiling data and interviewing leading international experts in the field as a groundwork for a policy aimed at standardizing building methods, early warning systems, and relief procedures in the event of major earthquake activity.
44.
Where does the report originate?
45.
What is the main subject?
46.
What will the study affect?
47.
What does the committee recommend building methods should be?
Mini Talk 4.
Today we will be studying about King Charles II. Despite his position as claimant to the English throne after the execution of his father Charles I, Charles II was without a single drop of what we would call English blood in his veins, being 1/4 Scottish, 1/4 French, 1/4 German, and 1/4 Welsh. Nonetheless, by the time England had wearied of the protectorate established by Cromwell's forces, it welcomed Charles back as if he were the only child of the realm.
48.
Who established the protectorate?
49.
What happened to the father of Charles II?
50.
What blood was not in the veins of Charles II? This is the end of listening comprehension.
Section 2. Structure and written expression. Time 25 minutes. Section 2 measures your ability to recognize standard written English. There are two parts to this section. Each part has a different type of question and a different set of directions. Directions for questions 1 to 15. You will see a sentence with a portion missing. Following the sentence will be 4 words or phrases. One of those words or phrases will best complete the sentence. Mark your choice on your answer sheet.
1. The organizers of the convention have arranged accommodations for those participants from out of town. 2. The farmers recruited to work in the paper mill complained that they were not accustomed a time card. 3. The playground supervisor reprimanded for our shouting. 4. The lawyer's opinion. The case should not go to trial. 5. The job applicant was worried about the interview. He was well prepared. 6. The predicament and solving it are two different problems. 7. The human rights activist considered it honored to be nominated for the award. 8. The spectators breathed a sigh of relief when 9. Although the members of the faculty seem inflexible to suggestion. 10. Rain now, the farmers will have to postpone the harvest. 11. Some consider Las Vegas city in the world to live in. 12. The phonograph next door was so loud that we could hear the television in our own room. 13. The parent scolded the child and made her promise again. 14. The motivation of the workers, not a monetary reward, but the satisfaction of a job well done. 15. Highly motivated, ambitious people often more hours in a day.
Directions for questions 16 to 40. In this section, you will be given a sentence with 4 words or phrases underlined. One of the underlined words or phrases is not standard English. You must choose the incorrect portion and blacken the corresponding letter on your answer sheet.
16. The use of video disc in the classroom, a potentially powerful educational room. It will not be widespread until prices come down. 17. Recent studies done by the Department of Labor have shown that non-smoking are more productive than those who smoke. 18. The new, more stringent requirements for obtaining a driving license has resulted in a decrease in traffic accidents. 19. We all thought the office manager had gone too far, but his staff did support him. 20. Hearing the fire alarm sound, the librarian requested those reading to leave their books headed for the nearest exit. 21. The scientific experiments conducted by the class was placed on the center table for the judges to evaluate. 22. Miss Amelia Earhart, like many of the world's greatest heroes, sacrificed their life for the sake of adventure, glory, and country. 23. The anthropologist reviewed its findings and discovered that a fossil previously thought to date from the Mesozoic period was a current forgery. 24. The organizers of the picnic thought they had put enough food on the basket, but there obviously was not enough for 6 hungry people. 25. The general's political judgment or his ability to analyze a situation accurately were both as remarkable as his military skill. 26. Welcoming the astronaut to the community and prepare a big banquet were important responsibilities for the newly formed citizens group. 27. The freezing point and boiling point of water are standard reference points used in calibrating thermometer. 28. Sacagawea, the woman Indian who accompanied Lewis and Clark on their journey, has been the inspiration for countless romantic legends. 29. Ceramic materials taken directly from the Earth's crust have used as building material since time immemorial. 30. People who follow the pseudoscience astrology, a false science, believe that stars govern the fate of man. 31. The force of gravity becomes least as one goes further from the center of the earth. 32. Using herbal medicines, treat doctors more illness for less cost. 33. Elizabeth Charlotte provisions through her body outspoken letters an unparalleled contemporary view of the court of Louis XIV. 34. Child labor laws were instituted to protect the neglected long rights of children. 35. If excess air was pumped into an elastic cylinder, the cylinder will explode. 36. English is spoken by slightly more than 8% of the Earth's population, is the most common language after Chinese. 37. Many people, physicians included, fail to appreciate that bee stings have fatal results in minutes. 38. Today's playing cards who are modeled after 18th century English design trace their roots to Turkey. 39. The brain's left hemisphere controls logic and language, while the right controlling intuitive talents and musical ability. 40. Upon immigrants arriving in America at the turn of the century, most immigrants passed through Ellis Island. This is the end of structure and written expression. Section 3. Reading Comprehension and Vocabulary. Time, 45 minutes. In this section of the test, there are 2 types of questions. Each question type has its own directions. Directions for questions 1 to 30. In each sentence, a word or phrase has been underlined. There are 4 other words or phrases below each sentence. You must select the one word or phrase which most closely matches the meaning of the underlined word.
1. If one has an open mind, it is not difficult to appreciate another's point of view.
2. There are some people who advocate relaxation over work.
3. An employer must verify that the applicants have the proper qualifications.
4. Allowing books to be sold at the exhibition would set a precedent for future conventions.
5. The lawyers obliged the newspaper to retract their allegations.
6. It is often difficult to reveal one's true feelings to others.
7. Since the beginning of time, there have been people who predict that the end of the world is near.
8. The size of our staff was reduced to reflect the change in budget.
9. Some people can eat large quantities of food, yet never gain any weight.
10. The building is so well constructed that it will survive even the strongest earthquake.
11. Jane looked at an assortment of necklaces before choosing one with green beads.
12. The caterers must know approximately how many people are expected.
13. The chart showed the amount of money spent on food compared with the amount spent on recreation.
14. The woman who sponsored the civic arts show has not been seen recently.
15. The man's brother accompanied him to the corner and then went in a different direction.
16. When I heard the alarm, I was prepared to run.
17. History is best learned from contemporary sources.
18. This flag symbolizes what is important to our country.
19. It is advisable to have an alternative plan.
20. One is not always able to choose one's associates.
21. Reports on the discovery were telegraphed to the waiting nation.
22. The film rights were negotiated by the author's lawyers.
23. The results of experiments on the intelligence of monkeys have not been conclusive.
24. A recent census of home buying patterns shows that many people under 30 are still renting.
25. The use of the microcomputer is as pedestrian as the use of the telephone.
26. The price of gold fluctuated and then plummeted on the world market last quarter.
27. Congressional debate over the passage of this controversial bill was inevitable.
28. The picture illustrates the compassion the artist has for his native land.
29. The drought caused escalation of prices and depletion of supplies.
30. The worker's aggressive personality kept him from having many friends.
Directions for questions 31 to 56. In this section, you will read passages on a variety of subjects and then answer several questions about the passages. Some of the answers will come directly from the passages. Others may only be implied. Select the most appropriate answer and blacken the answer on your answer sheet.
Questions 31 to 35. Emergency numbers. Clarendon University. Accidents on university property. 6111. Ambulance or rescue squad. 611 or 9911. Fire. 9911. University Hospital. 0. Campus Security. 6111. From phones not on the university telephone system. 676-6111. Calls other than emergency. 6110. To report a theft of university property. 6110. Metropolitan Police. 911.
31. A student who burned his hands in the chemistry laboratory at the university should dial 32. A university student calling the campus police from his home should dial 33. A faculty member who wanted to report an arson incident in progress should dial 34. A student who wanted to contact a friend recovering from surgery should dial 35. A professor returned to his office and found that the door lock had been broken and university equipment was missing. He should call
Questions 36 to 39. Tape head cleaner or demagnetizer instructions for the Thriftex BCD cassette. The special cleaning or demagnetizing cassette was designed to prolong the life and promote the fidelity of your sound equipment. The cassette should be used after every 10 hours of equipment operation to achieve maximum performance of your system. Before inserting the cassette, lower the volume. Rewind the tape completely and then press play. Play the tape until it stops. Do not rewind again. Remove the cassette and store it in the provided case.
36. The head cleaner or the magnetizer should be used. 37. The tape should be rewound. 38. Before rewinding the tape, you should. 39. Using the head cleaner will.
Questions 40 to 43. Send no money. Toefl Corporation sale. Best Buys. Office and microcomputer products. Yes, I want to take advantage of Toefl's special sale. Please send me SSDD 50 disk bulk pack, price $94.50 per pack. 3M SSDD 10 disc box, price $21.90 per box. EconoPack printout paper, price $28.94 per cartoon. Round steno chair, price $49.88 each. Black steno chair, price $49.88 each. I may return the merchandise within 30 days and receive a full credit or refund if I am not 100% satisfied.
40. The advertisement is aimed at 41. The total cost for 40 discs is 42. The chair will most likely be used. 43. If the printout paper is spotted, the purchaser will receive.
Questions 44 to 47. Before the American Revolution, British policy as well as American preferences caused manufacturing workshops to remain in Europe, while the colonists engaged chiefly in agriculture and commerce. The Revolution, however, drastically altered the realities of international trade. American foreign commerce suffered from the dissolution of ties with British firms, from the destruction of traditional lines of credit, and from the competition with and sometimes harassment by the businesses and government of Britain. Moreover, the Revolution stimulated the expansion of household manufacturing. The American Constitution, the policies of Alexander Hamilton, and most especially the Napoleonic Wars and the development of an interdependent relationship between the cotton and iron industries contributed to the inception of what would become the Industrial Revolution in the United States and the origin of a distinctive American system of manufacturing, adding a bold new dimension to the economic order and altering popular attitudes toward business enterprise.
44. The main idea of this passage concerns 45. Which of the following was not a factor in the Industrial Revolution? 46. According to the passage, international commerce was affected most seriously by 47. The initial effects of the revolution.
Questions 48 to 52. When scientists are trying to understand a particular set of phenomena, they often make use of a model. A model in the scientist's sense is a kind of analogy or mental image of the phenomena in terms of something we are familiar with. One example is the wave model of light. We cannot see light as if it were made up of waves because experiments on light indicate that it behaves in many respects as water waves do. The purpose of a model is to give us a mental or visual picture, something to hold on to when we cannot see what is actually happening. Models often give us a deeper understanding. The analogy to a known system, for instance, water waves in the above example, can suggest new experiments to perform and can provide ideas about what other related phenomena might occur.
48. The author is concerned with an explanation of the term. 49. Another example of a scientific model would be 50. Why are models necessary? 51. Models provide us with deeper understanding because 52. An analogy is
questions 53 to 56. The blues is the root and foundation upon which all jazz has developed. Indeed, without the blues, there would be no jazz as we know it today. Every style of jazz, even the avant-garde, has been found to have a heritage in the blues. Work songs were structurally simple to harmony songs that were sung by a leader and responded to by other workers. Another kind of song, the country blues, was developed at the same time, however. The first blues songs were sung by itinerant male singers in the South and Southwest who went to bars and social gatherings, singing songs full of earthy lyrics in exchange for liquor. Early blues singers drank, danced, and mingled freely with the patrons and guests, and their music was informal, unrestrained, and often improvised or composed on the spot. The themes of these songs concerned the basic human problems of sex and love, poverty, and death.
53. Which of the following statement is true? 54. Early country blues can best be characterized as 55. Which of the following would be the most appropriate topic for a country blues songs? 56. The singers of the first blues songs.
Directions for questions 57 to 60. In this section, you must select the statement that most nearly matches the original statement. Many of the statements are true, but only one is a restatement of the original.
57. The best way to learn a foreign language is to study daily and never miss an opportunity to speak to native speakers. 58. Everybody involved was convinced to take the early flight to Chicago. 59. The reason some athletes live longer than others is that their conditioning program is more intensive. 60. He who laughs last laughs best. This is the end of reading comprehension and vocabulary.
Diagnostic Test 2, Listening Comprehension. 50 questions, 40 minutes. Part A. Directions. In this part of the test, you will hear a brief statement. Each statement will be spoken only once. The statement does not appear in your test booklet. When you have heard a statement, select the answer nearest in meaning to what you have heard. Record your answer on the answer sheet. Example, you will hear, the Wagners seem to take their lost family in stride. You will read A. Mr. Wagner comes from a lost family. B. Mrs. Wagner comes from a large family. C. Mr. and Mrs. Wagner are the parents of many children. D. The Wagners dislike small families. The correct answer to the example is C.
One. My rent is due on the 1st of the month, but I rarely pay my other bills until the 15th. 2. The green checked bedspread is prettier, but the solid blue one is cheaper. 3. Mary told me that she would graduate in June if she could get the chemistry course she needs out of the way. 4. To operate the machine properly, you must keep the top closed while the machine is spinning. 5. It's a shame John eats sweets whenever he gets the chance. 6. We would have had a better time at the party if we had known some of the other guests. 7. Tigers eat human beings only on rare occasions when food is scarce. 8. I'm only an acquaintance of Bill Jones, but he seems a likable fellow. 9. The shoe shop is on the east side of the shopping center, close to the cafeteria. 10. Peter wishes to be an architect like his father. 11. After Mary was almost asleep, she realized that she had forgotten to set the alarm. 12. If Caroline doesn't improve in math this semester, she will have to find a tutor. 13. What he did came as no surprise to me. 14. Twice as many men as women are insurance agents. 15. When Mr. Moore returned to his office after lunch, his secretary had a message for him from his lawyer. 16. The plane was supposed to land at 6, but the flight was 30 minutes ahead of schedule. 17. Frank doesn't care if Harriet leaves or stays. 18. I remembered his face when I ran into him, but his name escaped me. 19. I understand that Susan has broken her engagement to Walter, but she doesn't seem at all upset about it. 20. Mr. Connor always wore old clothes although he had a sizable bank account.
4B. Directions. These sections of the listening comprehension test consists of 15 short conversations between two people. When each conversation ends, you will be asked a question by a third voice about what was said. You will hear the question only once, and you must choose the answer from the 4 choices given. When you have chosen what you believe to be the best answer to the questions, record your answer on the answer sheet. Example, you will hear,
I've never understood how to use the card catalog, and I need to get this information today.
Why don't you pick up one of the guidebooks at the front desk? It will help you, I'm sure.
Where did this conversation mostly occur? You will read A. At a museum, B. In a store, C. In a classroom, D. In a library. The correct answer to the example is D.
(21)
What did you think of the final exam?
I was expecting it to be easy, but at the end of the first hour, I was still on the first page. I barely had time to get to the last question.
What can we conclude from the above conversation?
(22)
Your room is a mess. Your clothes are all over the floor, and your bed is unmade. And when was the last time you picked up your toys?
You ought to try to be neater. Clean it up now, and when you are finished, we'll all go on a picnic.
Who might these two speakers be?
(23)
Can you accompany me on the piano while I sing?
I don't play very well, but I will give it a try.
What does the woman want the man to do?
(24)
The telephone company says that they can send a man between 1 and 3 tomorrow afternoon, but someone has to be at home to let him in.
Well, I guess I'll have to take off from work at noon. We can't go any longer without a telephone.
What does the woman need to do tomorrow?
(25)
Can you bill me later?
I'm sorry I can't. You are a new patient, so the fee for the first examination is due now. You can pay by cash, credit card, or check.
Where did this conversation most likely take place?
(26)
I don't understand how you got a ticket. I always thought you were a careful driver.
I usually am, but I thought I could get through the intersection before the light turned.
Why did the man get a ticket?
(27)
I can't decide whether to buy a new car or try to find a second-hand one.
If you buy a new one, you'll probably save money in the long run.
What does the man suggest to the women?
(28)
There isn't enough punch to go around.
I know you told me to get more, but there were only 2 gallons left on the shelf.
What is the woman complaining about?